What's up, everybody? Welcome to a safety meeting gameplay series. Today we are continuing our survival slash building in Rising World. Now you'll notice that all of my crafting tables are back in the out of doors, and that was because I cleared out some space for our chimney build. Oh, we got some moose over there. What's he got going on? These moose do some silly things sometimes when they don't think they're being watched. So yeah, I moved these things out here so we could do our chimney build, but before we get into that, we have a lot of projects, I think, in the future. Now, one thing that I'm super excited to see is the ideas have been exploding in the comments, and I love it. There's been so many good ideas that my to-do list is growing pretty large now. And I think one of the ones that I'm most excited for is, and this is an idea lifted straight up out of the comments, and that is for a fire watch tower. And I think that would be super, super cool. Now, I don't know the story about this particular Rising World. I don't think we're like a lone survivor. Let's do what every video game is right now. You're the lone survivor in a post-apocalyptic world. Nah, we're not going to do that for this one. We are, I'm going to say, like, not northern Alaska, because it probably wouldn't look just like this. It'd probably be a lot more snowy. But I'm saying maybe someplace in Alaska, a little bit out in the middle of nowhere. And so there are people out and about, but they're few and far between. So that means we need a fire watch station. And so what I'm thinking, we don't want it near the cabin, because we want to separate work from play. This is our play area now that we actually have a little bit of a home. This is what I'm contemplating. Let's go over by our pal Moose over here. Hopefully he'll protect us from bears if there's any around. What's up, pal of mine? I'm thinking right on top of that little peak right there is a good spot for a watchtower. Now, that's just looking at it from over here. Ooh, I hope that's in agreement. I'm saying that that's in agreement. He likes the idea. It sounds like a good idea from over here. I don't know what's on the other side of that hill. I can't remember. It looks like more forest. So if it is, then that'd be perfect because you don't really need a fire watch someplace that doesn't have a lot of forest. And kind of along the lines of the style that I'm thinking. Now, there's two different games right now that feature these watchtowers that I've played, and they're actually both really fun games. One is The Lone Dark, and someplace on the map, there's a really cool watchtower that you have to go up inside and survive inside of that. And then also the game Firewatch, which is actually a really fun game as well. But that's the one that I'm really thinking about, is the one from Firewatch, because that one... It's like a little one room and definitely smaller, a lot smaller than this. You can barely turn around in it. You just have enough stuff for maybe like a table and a bed and some supplies and things like that, and you call it good. So I think that's going to be one of our next bigger projects. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to that one. And some of the other stuff that we have going on as well, we're kind of all putting our heads together here and figuring out what's gonna work out the best for this area. I know in the last episode I had mentioned something about doing a blueprint. I have an old workshop blueprint that's from a different build, and I started looking at it. Not only is that workshop huge, I think it's actually about the same size as this house. It's just a little bit too modern looking, so I don't think it's going to fit here very well. So what I'm thinking is, as far as storage, I would like to do a couple of different things. I want to separate my food from my ores and my lumber and things like that. So like just a basic creepy cellar basement underneath here, but have obviously these will be gone. So picture those gone, and have the cellar basement that you would see out of like horror movies and stuff like that. Have the slanted door right here, and you would step down and probably just right into a dirt basement. And I think that might be a good spot for maybe some food storage and probably just a place to put the benches, because I don't think I'm going to have the benches outside. Here's what I was thinking for storage outside. I want to take the furnace, and I want to get a furnace and a couple of chests, and maybe right into the side of this hill right here. Just have like a little lean-to. Not even any doors or anything like that. just a little shelter that's built right into the side of the hill. Dig some of this out and have a little slanted roof coming off. Basically just a little shield of the elements for our furnace and a couple of chests and call it good. Now you can see we have a giant gaping hole in our wall right now. That is going to be filled with fireplace soon. And one of my concerns before was getting the actual chimney up through this existing woodwork right here without having to dismantle any of it. And then I got to thinking that blocks don't really treat these beams and planks as actually even being there. So if I remember right, I think I can just stack blocks right into here. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I was all worried that I was going to have to redo the siding and stuff because of the chimney, but because we use beams and planks, I think we're going to be okay. So we're going to find that out here in a little bit. Now I know this looks like a huge, giant gap in the wall right now, but once the stone is in there, you're going to kind of see what I got going on here. Now the stone that I chose, I decided to go with cobble. It's just a very basic, let's go out and get a bunch made here. It's real basic stone, and that's exactly why I chose it. Because I don't want to get too high tech with any of this stuff. Not as far as the looks anyway. So this is the cobble ID number 39 that I was going to do. I literally just want this to look like we mixed up a whole bunch of mud, threw stones in it, and stacked it into the shape of a chimney. Although it's going to be a very perfectly blocked chimney, but that's all right. So I think for right now, I always do a little bit of overkill and make more than what I need. So we're going to start with 40 and just see what that gives us, because I'm sure I always have to leave myself a pretty good size margin of error as far as my inventory, because I always end up redoing a lot of stuff 2 or 3 times. All right, so I hope my idea is going to work. If I remember right, about blocks are just going to pretty much pretend that beams and planks don't exist. All right, it does work. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Normally in a game, because this beam is right here, this block, you wouldn't have been able to place it because they're crashing into each other. You'd have to get rid of that beam and then put the block in. But we don't have to worry about that right now. So the idea that I have for a chimney is actually going to work. Now, eventually what I want to do is I'll probably put in some slanted blocks and stuff and put some little angled chamfers on here and stuff like that. But for right now, this is just super, super basic. Now, let's go up here and see what this is going to do. I know it's going to work on the inside. I don't know how this is going to look on the outside just yet. Come on. I cannot, for the life of me, navigate ladders in any game. Alright, there we go. And this is just going to pop right on through the roof, I hope. Is that going to... I got a little bit of a... Oh, okay, it did work. It looked a little odd from the angle that I was on. Okay, can we do this without breaking our feet? Yeah. Alright, well there's the start. So far this looks like it's going to work out alright. Now it's probably not popping out on the back side as far as we need it, but I have an idea for that as well. So if I'm going to have to take that tree. This is going to be the second time I've taken this tree down. We'll wait until we get everything all built and figured out before we start planting our vegetation again. I'm sure we could have used the lumber anyway. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing here. Yeah, you can see that that wood still is popping through right here, but our chimney is going to come out one more block, so that is going to actually work out just fine. Okay, and then I am going to do slanted blocks right off the bat on the outside here, so we'll get those made here in a little bit. This is actually going to be a really quick build because we're doing it so basic right now. And eventually I'm going to put like a little mantelpiece, and we'll put, I think it's considered a hearth. I don't know. What is that thing that kind of pops out It's usually like a little stone thing or tile. I think that's considered the hearth. I don't know. But we'll get it all prettied up and everything. Right now we're just kind of messing around. I think I do want this to go back one more. See what this is going to look like if we go one more deep. I have the feeling it's going to look really, really odd from the outside. But let's try it. This is why I always just make a ton of stone and stuff, because I always end up way, way short because all the screwing around I do. Okay, let's just make a bunch. Oh, actually, while we're here, okay, that should give us enough pieces right there to get a semi-decorated fireplace going here. Okay, this might end up being just a monstrosity of a chimney here. Let's see. Now you can use your arrow keys to rotate all these blocks, which is really nice. No, that might not be too bad. Can I get away with that one? Actually, that'll... I think this will de-uglify it a little bit here. Let's try this. So I usually have a certain way that I do chimneys, but I'm usually not in survival. I'm usually building for decorative purposes, not survival. That might not be too bad for right now. That makes it look a little bit less monstrous. Okay, now let's see if we can get away with doing this. I know I have one more piece of ladder here. I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh, lucky, it did work. Yeah, let's go one more up. I think that is gonna work out perfect. Oh, you know what? I got an idea. Okay, let's get back down. I'm probably gonna break... Nope, I thought I was gonna break my ankles because I was being lazy. I have an idea what we can do for the top here. We're gonna do a different color just because that chimney is made out of 4 blocks, so okay, we'll do that. See if we can get ourselves back up on the roof here. We're getting really lucky here so far. Okay. Number 4. Now I have no idea how this is going to look. I just figured we'll give it a try. There. I think that'll work just fine. Now, here is one of the cool things that we can do. Now, this is something that I don't think this is available in any of the crafting benches or anything like that. we are going to spawn ourselves in an object. So let's use the tilde key to open up our console. And I'm trying to remember, it's been a little bit since I've done this. We are going to put smoke coming out of our chimney. Now, this is something, I can see that I'm starting to starve and get thirsty here. Now, this is called technical smoke, and we've got 3 different versions, and I think it's basically a small, medium, and large. So we're going to do the medium. Hopefully I can do this. Let's see, object. Let's see, I think 0 is small, 1 is medium, 2 is large. So let's try 1. See if I did this right. No. I probably spelled it wrong. Object. Smoke. 1. All right, there we go. Yeah, I probably just spelled it wrong or something. I wasn't even paying any attention. All right, so now if we go into our inventory, that should be it right there. Yep. So it looks like nothing. So we put that in our hand. Now, you're not going to see anything. It has been a little bit since I've done this. Now, I think all we have to do is just put our cursor where we want the start of it to be, and then right-click. There we go. How cool is that? Now we have a smoking chimney. I honestly don't know what I typed in that first time. I probably just spelled technical wrong or something like that. I've got the worst typing skills on the planet. So object, technical smoke, 0, 1, or 2. And this looks really cool at night too. All right, what does it look like from down here? Awesome. I definitely got to say this right here really bothers me. Let's pop this out right here. Just see what it looks like from the inside. I hope that's not an important block for looks. Oh, it is. All right. We're going to leave it there for now, I guess. We just won't look at it from the other side. Now, I did do a couple of half slabs. I just want to see what this is going to look like. Just for now. Alright, that looks a little bit better. Alright, so there's the start of our chimney. Now we have a couple of things that we could do. We could starve to death. We can thirst ourselves to death. So let's remedy that real fast. That's not actually what I was going to say, but... Oh, wrong button. Wrong button! Oh, jeez. I need to find some food here. I'm all out. Oh, what do we got here? Let's eat some taters. Oh, another of the wrong button. Okay, get these potatoes out of my hand. There we go. All right, I think that's looking halfway decent for right now. And just to keep our eyeballs happy anyway. So now one thing that we can do is we actually have a campfire. Let's see. I don't think we had fireplace. So we could do this, but I think it's loud if I remember right. Let's go ahead and craft it. Let's try it and place it. I think these things are really loud. Oh, that's not too bad. They must have fixed the sound in that. I was going to put in a different kind of a fire in there, but I think that's going to be okay. I remember the last time I had a fireplace in there, it was so loud, and it sounded like the microphone was staticky, but it was actually the fire. And I like the sound effects, but it was just way too overpowering. So, all right. Well, I guess that's going to be the start of our fireplace here. All right, so I think that actually makes the house pretty much official. Everything else is just going to be purely decorative from now on. One thing that I would like to do eventually, and I know I've discussed this before, is to put some beams across the top and kind of tie everything in between the roof line and the wall. But like I said, that's just all aesthetics. I think other than that, everything is pretty well set to go. The fireplace, I'm not terribly happy with it just because it is so basic, but I didn't want to get real high tech. I wanted to build the fireplace in 100% survival, basically just using what we had at our disposal. So I think eventually, once we have more of an area kind of settled and everything, we'll start doing some more high tech stuff, and we'll take all of these basic builds and turn them into a lot more detailed, just cooler builds in general. This doesn't look like the monstrosity that I thought it was going to be. I'm still not entirely happy with it. So I think that makes us official with this house. Everything else is just going to be aesthetics, like that roof that we're going to put with the for the porch and stuff like that. So I think I'm officially closing the chapter on our cabin build for right now. We need to go and do that watchtower. I want to do that watchtower really, really bad. I think that's going to be a fun build. Here, let's do this real fast. Let's sleep. Let's go run over there real fast and just see what that area looks like. I'm running right past my shelter. Okay. I wonder if Moose will follow us over there. Right on top of that peak right there is where I'm thinking. Come on, Moose. Let's go. Giddy up. I haven't found the crafting recipe for the moose saddle yet. Come on. Flies can get a ride, why can't I? Oh, look at that. We got like a little sandbar going almost all the way across. We could turn this into a little bridge right here. Now I'm just running all carefree, all excited about this watchtower. There's probably going to be a bear right at the top of this hill. Okay, there's no bear, but there's really no trees either. Bummer. Alright, so we might end up having to do a little bit of traveling. That's alright, though. Oh, a nice big thick forest to look down on when we have the watchtower. I wonder how big of a forest that is. It's not quite the area that we... Is it? Let's see. Yeah, we're built over there. Is that the bear right there? Yes, it is. So the bear is guarding the forest, it looks like. Alright, well, we're going to have to do a little bit of traveling and figure out exactly where to put this watchtower. And do me a favor and keep all of these awesome ideas coming, too. I never would have thought about that. Thank you for that idea. I definitely appreciate it. We got our floating moose now. So yeah, keep them coming. That's awesome. There's so many good ideas that I don't even know where to begin. I'm so excited about so many different things. We got a ton of stuff that we can do through the winter now, so that's awesome. So I think we're just going to go ahead and call it for right now. My apologies that this is such a boring chimney, but that's all right. We'll pretty it up later. So I think the next episode we might end up starting that watchtower. I'm not exactly sure. I might try to finish up around here a little bit first, because we could probably get that lean-to built in just one quick episode too, and get the furnace and a little bit of storage in over here. Maybe I'll do that, because we're going to need a lot of lumber. So maybe I'll get the lean-to, and we'll use the... Oh, that's what we can do. All right. Progressive survival. That's what we're going to do. We have a plan. We'll get the lean-to in the next episode, and we'll load up the lean-to with chests. And like I said, it is going to take a lot of lumber to build that watchtower. We will start building up our supply of logs and lumber, and probably at the same time, we'll be figuring out exactly where we want to put this watchtower. You know, there's a lot of trees right out that way. Maybe we'll have to head that way. I don't know, we'll get it figured out. But keep those ideas coming. I really appreciate them. And let me know what you think of everything that we've got going on right now. So as always, I appreciate everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave me a like. I appreciate those as well. And I will see you guys real soon for another episode.